Hey y'all, it's Adrienne Caprice here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a sit down video and I'm going to be doing my makeup and I'm going to be giving you guys my story, my acne story. Oh my gosh. So before we get into today's video, I focus on everything fitness, health, wellness, and lifestyle. So make sure you hit that subscribe button because I be giving you the tea, okay, when it comes to losing weight, being healthy, and being in your healthy girl era. Even though it's not an era, it's a lifestyle. We doing this for the long haul, okay? Today's video is all about my acne story. This is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. I just feel like I haven't put up the strength to come and do it, okay? Like sometimes talking about this gets me emotional because I feel like at the time of my life it was just, if you have acne, then you understand. I don't even have to explain it. Acne is horrible. Acne is the devil. Acne can ruin your life. But I'm going to be telling you guys just my story, how I found out the correlation between acne and gut health, what I removed from my diet, what I added to my diet, what I do now, and how long it took me to be cured from acne. So yeah, enough rambling, let's get into the video. So before we get started with the video, I do want to show y'all a before and after of my skin. Okay, I'm gonna take these off. If you see me looking down, that's because I have my handy dandy iPad that I cannot live without, and I wrote down all of my talking points because I don't want to miss a thing, okay? And if I miss anything, I will add it right here, because I just know I'm going to miss something. But this is my skin right now. This is like my bad side, but as far as like acne and stuff, this is my bad side. I did have a breakout after coming from LA, but I just have like some hyperpigmentation and I have one pimple right there because I just got off my cycle. So back in 2018 is when it all started. I had a really horrible family trauma. If you hear noise like raindrops, that's because it is raining in Miami right now and I'm sitting in front of my window. So yeah. But in 2018, I had like a really horrible family tragedy happen to me. And stress is like one of the biggest factors when it comes to acne. So I didn't have acne in 2018, but I would get like a few pimples here and there, like when I would be on my menstrual, but nothing like, you know, too crazy or anything like that. It wasn't until like the end of 2018, beginning of 2019 is when I started to notice that my bumps and pimples would not go away. They would just keep coming and keep coming. And I pretty much just ignored it. I was like, you know, maybe I'm just getting adult acne, let me buy, you know, products that would help it, and it didn't work. So I still kind of ignored it because it wasn't like horrible acne, you know. It was something that was bearable, something that I could kind of deal with. And my now boyfriend, we started dating and things had gotten kind of serious towards like the end of 2019. And y'all know how it is when you gain that relationship weight. We was eating and like drinking alcohol pretty much every weekend. We would travel like to little places, and even when we were home, we would just eat a lot. And then I don't know, I was happy, so I was, you know, happy with like my weight and stuff. And then we ended up going to Puerto Rico and we were taking pictures, like, you know, pictures while we were on vacation. And that's when I realized, like, okay, number one, you gotta lose weight, and number two, this acne, it gotta go. Y'all, it's like real lightning going on out there. Yeah, we ended up taking a trip for my birthday, and I did not like how I looked in those pictures. I ended up like not posting none of my pictures because I just hated how I looked and hated how my skin looked. And then that's when 2020, the whole world shut down, and again we were just like eating and drinking. We were cooking at the house, we were spending a lot of time together. That's pretty much when I noticed the symptoms of like gut health, but I didn't put two and two together until later. So it was like mid 2020 and I was having horrible acid reflux. Like, it was so bad to the point where one day I thought I was having a heart attack. My boyfriend ended up taking me to the hospital and the doctor ended up telling me it was acid reflux. So after that, she prescribed me with this like horrible drug. It's called omeprazole, and I would not recommend anybody take it. Anytime somebody tells me that they take that medicine, I always be like, no, stop taking it right now, because it is horrible. I took it for 3 days. When I tell y'all, it was giving me crazy insomnia. I would wake up in the middle of the night, and I just wasn't a big fan of medicine in general, but it had some horrible side effects. Like, I was hallucinating. Like, one night I feel like I got up in the middle of the night and I started dancing around. Like, after I took that medicine, y'all, I actually took a week off from work. I was searching the medicine up, I was googling, YouTubing, and I ran across a few videos where people, you know, said they basically had horrible, worse than what I had, side effects from the medicine. I had already stopped using the medicine at that point, but that's when I decided to just throw it in the trash. And I ran across this girl, I think she lived in Europe, and she was telling, not me, but she was telling on her video how she healed her stomach holistically. I had never heard of holistic nothing until this video, and that's when it kind of switched, right? So I did more research and I ran across, I wish if I can find the 3 videos that I watched that helped me change my mindset, I will list them down below. But that's when she said that you don't need medicine, you just need a clean diet and you know, herbs and stuff like that. But I just wasn't getting into all of that. I said, you know what, I'm gonna start with a clean diet. So I took it upon myself, and I went through a whole process of doing what is called a keto diet. She ended up doing the keto diet, so I decided that I would try it. And number one, I lost a lot of weight. I ended up losing maybe like 20 pounds. I got down to 120, which is very small for me. That's like my high school weight. It wasn't a diet that I would recommend long term, but I did do it and it did help me. So I did it for maybe a month and a half, and I noticed dramatic differences in my gut health. My acne cleared up. I didn't have constipation. I didn't have, like, I never really had diarrhea, so that was never a problem for me, but my food would digest so much better. Like, it was like I was back to normal. But I didn't do any dairy, I didn't do any carbs. I just literally did vegetables and protein. The only carbs that I would have would be fruits and vegetables. No potatoes, no sweet potatoes. I wouldn't even eat zucchini because it was too much carbs. So, but I will tell you, it worked. And if you want to lose weight, I guess you could try the keto diet. I would not recommend it, so don't listen to me, but it worked. This was, I feel like the beginning of, was it 2021? I'm sorry if this video was all over the place, but I'm trying to like run through the timeline in my head. I ended up finding this girl's video in like the summer of 2021, or was it 2020? Oh my god, y'all, I don't know. Okay, I really don't remember exactly when I found her video, but just know I found it, and the light switch just changed. But that's when I realized that the two is like this. If you have acne, more than likely you have gut health issues. After I did the keto diet, I started to introduce foods back into my diet, like potatoes, you know, just, you know, the regular stuff, right? And that's when I ended up moving to Fort Lauderdale, and everything was good. I wasn't on my paleo diet or anything like that, but I was still keeping up with the no sugar, keeping everything clean and eating whole foods. And then living down here, is the food, it hit a little different. Okay, so I ended up kind of reverting back to my old ways when it came to eating, and the acne, it just came back, and it came back full force, okay? And I'm being dramatic because y'all seen the pictures. Still doing a lot of research, but I wasn't really applying it to my actual life and lifestyle. So one time I ended up, and I feel like this is when things took a complete turn for me, and I realized that I really had to make it a lifestyle. So I ended up doing a photo shoot for my boutique called Caprice's Closet, and we had bought all of these trees. We made this whole setup, and y'all, I had ended up going crazy. I ended up going ham on the sweets. And after that, my acne went up like crazy. I had the absolute worst breakout of my entire life. My skin looked so horrible to the point where I had to put on like 2 layers of foundation in order to cover, not even cover, kind of cover like my breakouts and all the hyperpigmentation. My boyfriend wanted to go out. I didn't want to go anywhere. It really ruined my life. Thinking about it makes me so emotional because I'm a pretty confident girl. I don't feel like I get insecure about much or anything at all. And yeah, at that time, it just wasn't good for me. I'm getting, wow. After feeling so horrible, that's when I decided, girl, you gotta get on your Zoom. Like, you gotta get it together. After that, I decided to get back to, you know, what I was doing before, but not so crazy. So I didn't just drastically say, hey, I'm gonna stop eating this, stop eating that. I just decided I was gonna take out sugar out of my diet. So like no cookies, no cakes, none of that. I'm a cookies and cakes type girl, so I had to stop eating that first. And once I took those things out of my diet, that's when I decided to start adding things to my diet. So one of the things that I added to my diet was celery juice. Celery juice is a game changer for gut health and for acne. The video I was telling you about earlier, she said she drank celery juice, and that's kind of how I got hip to it. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it for 2 weeks straight. I'm gonna drink it every day, a big ass cup of celery juice, and we're gonna see. And I started with celery juice, and that was it. And so then I seen a difference, I seen a change. And then I started looking up more and more things about gut health and acne, and somebody recommended fermented foods. So like sauerkraut, kimchi, stuff like that. And I started adding that to my diet, and it was helping me. And I didn't do all of this within like 1 week. It took a couple of months because I wanted to see what worked and what didn't work. And then after I found out about the fermented food, I ended up finding out about bone broth. Bone broth has a lot of collagen in it, and it will help repair the gut lining in your stomach. So I was eating a lot of fermented foods like kimchi. I was eating a lot of bone broth and celery juice. Now when it came to all of these things, I wouldn't eat them every day on a consistent basis. I would do like celery juice for 2 weeks and then take a break for like 3 weeks. And then I would say, okay, well, since I'm taking a break from celery juice, let me do bone broth and kimchi. And then I ended up this Asian woman, and she talks about how warm drinks are very, very important in like Korean culture, and because that's where I got the kimchi from. And she talked about just drinking a lot of tea. So I drank a lot of tea in the mornings, and I drank a lot of hot lemon water after my meals, especially after dinner. So after doing all of that, I seen a dramatic improvement in my skin. So now my skin was like healing up. I didn't have any, you know, minor problems or anything. I ended up going to see a holistic doctor because I was still having a few digestive problems, but I didn't want to go see a regular doctor because, and this is something that I forgot to mention, I ended up, when I lived in Memphis, I ended up actually going to see a gastroenterologist doctor, and he did an entire not colonoscopy, I don't know what it's called when they go in through, I'm having a brain fart right now, but, and he said he didn't find anything. So I'm like, okay, well, somebody gonna have to help me find the issue. So I ended up going to see a holistic doctor, and he put a lot of things into perspective for me, but at the time, not gonna lie, it was just too expensive because every visit was like $200, and I just couldn't pay that just for somebody to tell me, because I think like my first visit was $200, and he basically just told me to lay off eating like a lot of grains, which I had already done before, so I know how that works. And he told me to drink hot lemon water. Like, I was drinking hot lemon water before he told me, so I didn't feel like I wanted to pay $225 for somebody to tell me to drink hot lemon water, you know. But if you have the money and the bread to spend on that, I would definitely suggest that, because a lot of times they have a really good advice, and they have a lot of different things that they can provide to you that a normal doctor wouldn't tell you or would not give to you. So I'm not telling you not to go see a holistic or functional medicine doctor, but if you have the money to, I would definitely suggest it. Another thing that I would like to mention is that I started incorporating herbs into my diet. Like, God put things on this earth for us, and we have to utilize them. So one of the herbs that I fell in love with when it comes to gut health is marshmallow roots and slippery elm. Now those two together, just they're amazing, but you can drink them separately, you can drink them together, you can mix it with other teas, because I'm not gonna lie, they don't taste the best. It's not a supplement, and it's not something that is chemically processed. It's something that comes from the earth, so it's not going to necessarily give you diarrhea. It's going to help push things through your colon, so it's easier for you to have a movement, you know. And I will mention that I'm not going to talk about any topicals, because this video is not all about the outside, it's all about what's going on in the inside. I also want to mention how important having activity is, and like working out. Like, you don't have to be a gym rat or some gym beast head or anything like that, but working out will definitely improve your gut health, because it'll help speed your metabolism up, so that way your body can digest things a little quicker. So if I were to prioritize gut health, what would a day of eating look like for me? So in the morning, first thing that I would do is wake up, and I would have some hot lemon water. I would also have my celery juice prepped and ready to go, because after that I'm drinking my celery juice. And I would have a cup of berries. I would just eat them, a handful of berries, and that would be not everything I ate in the morning, but that would be like my morning ritual. I would have some 2 eggs and turkey bacon, and that would be my breakfast. And for lunchtime, I would do maybe like a sandwich. So I would do sandwich with a lot of veggies, and I will only use sourdough bread, because sourdough bread is typically easy digestible, or what they say. I find it easy digestible for me, so that is what I would eat. You will have to figure out, you know, what works for you. For a snack, I would do a handful of nuts and keep it simple. For dinner, you can do like a chicken vegetable soup if you want to make your digestion a little easier, but you still want to prioritize protein, because you don't want to deprive yourself of that. You want to make sure that you stay fuller for longer. Another option would be like wild caught salmon with vegetables, keeping it very simple, because you want to make your life easy. You don't want to do too much, because you're already taking things out of your diet, so you want to make cooking and eating things as simple as possible. I would finish my night off with some warm lemon water. But yeah, so I am still on my journey right now. So if you have any questions, if you want to know, I don't know, any specifics, feel free to message me down below. Feel free to hit me up in my DMs on Instagram. I am always willing to give out information and to help people. And when it comes to this topic, I'm always ready to help, because I do understand how hard it is to get started and how hard it could be to stay consistent. I'm not sitting here and telling you that throughout my journey I didn't have slip-ups, because I definitely did, but I just always knew, like, it's not an end-all be-all if I mess up. Give yourself grace, not too much grace. Give yourself grace and understand that it is a journey. And I do understand, I keep saying that, but it is so true. It is very, very true. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to my video. I am just so excited that I'm putting this video out. You know, if it doesn't do anything, I hope that it helps you and it makes you prioritize good health, because it is very important. I have to go to brunch. Hope you found this video helpful. I will see you guys next Monday. Bye bye.